I'm about my money, bro, and I'm about the music, bro. I don't care about nothing else, bro.
How do you go from an underground Houston artist to one of the most unique voices in hip-hop in just a few years? Don Toliver didn't just rise, he skyrocketed, and it wasn't luck. This man had a master plan, even if he didn't know it at the time. Let's talk about how he went from nobody knowing his name to every rapper in the game wanting a feature. But first, let's rewind and see where it all started. Before the world knew the name Don Toliver, Caleb Zachary Toliver was just another kid from Houston trying to make a name in the rap game. But unlike the rest, Don had a secret weapon: his sound. That melodic, spacey, hypnotic flow. Yeah, nobody else was doing it quite like him, and in 2018, he finally caught the right ears. Born in 1994, Don was raised in a musically inclined family. His father was a rapper in the 90s, and music was always playing in the house. Growing up in Houston, a city that birthed legends like Scarface, UGK, and Travis Scott, Don was surrounded by hip-hop culture. But he wasn't just influenced by Houston's signature chopped and screwed sound. He was drawn to melodies, blending rap with hypnotic singing to create something unique. His early days were all about grinding independently. He started dropping mixtapes and singles, catching attention locally. But it was his 2018 mixtape, Donnie Womack, that really set things in motion. The project had a raw, futuristic sound that made people stop and pay attention. And one person who was really listening? Travis Scott. Don was strategic. He wasn't just making music. He was carefully crafting a vibe, a mood, a sound that listeners could instantly recognize. His aesthetic, a blend of psychedelic, dark, and dreamy visuals, helped him stand out in an era where artists were competing for attention. He took inspiration from legends, but flipped it into his own style, ensuring that when people heard Don Toliver, they knew it was Don Toliver. His sound was futuristic, a blend of melodic trap, psychedelic vibes, and deep, resonant vocals that gave him a signature presence. Unlike many artists who relied solely on beats and flows, Don experimented with vocal layering, harmonies, and storytelling in a way that felt cinematic. His ability to craft a full sonic atmosphere made him a standout act among rising artists. But it wasn't just the music, it was his relentless hustle. Don wasn't waiting for someone to hand him an opportunity. He was performing at small venues, networking with producers, and constantly refining his artistry. Every track he dropped built more momentum, and the buzz around him grew louder with every release. One of the key factors in his early success was his ability to embrace digital platforms. Instead of relying solely on radio play or traditional marketing, Don leveraged SoundCloud, YouTube, and Instagram to create a grassroots following. He understood that in the modern music era, visibility and accessibility were just as important as talent. He would tease snippets of upcoming songs, engage with fans online, and create a sense of anticipation around his releases. Now, this is the moment that changed everything. Imagine you're grinding, dropping music, hoping someone big notices you, and then, boom, you land on one of the biggest albums of the decade. Don's verse on Can't Say wasn't just fire, it was an entrance. The industry took notes, and suddenly Don Toliver wasn't just another new artist, he was a problem. Let's break this down. Astroworld wasn't just an album, it was a cultural moment. When Travis Scott dropped it in 2018, it was a massive success, and Can't Say was one of the standout tracks. Fans immediately started asking, who is Don Toliver? His voice was different, dreamy yet powerful, blending effortlessly with Travis's production. That cosign alone gave Don instant credibility, but he didn't just sit back and let the hype die down, he moved smart. Right after Astroworld, Don officially signed to Cactus Jack Records, Travis Scott's label. This move placed him in the perfect position. He had the industry's attention, and now he had the backing of one of the biggest artists in the game. But here's the thing, cosigns don't guarantee longevity. Plenty of artists get one big feature and disappear. Don wasn't about to let that happen. Adding to his viral success, Don Toliver's track Too Many Nights became a massive TikTok sensation. The song's infectious melody and hypnotic production turned it into a social media phenomenon, but what really took it to the next level was a hilarious misinterpretation of his lyrics during a live performance. Fans started making memes and funny edits, claiming he was saying incomprehensible words, and it became a viral joke. This only fueled the song's popularity as people couldn't get enough of the memes, turning it into an internet moment that worked in his favor. The memes ranged from people guessing ridiculous lyrics to edited clips of Don's live performance where the words seemed completely unintelligible, making fans laugh and spread the joke even further. Some artists take years to find their mainstream breakthrough. Don Toliver? He dropped not one, but two game-changing albums that turned him into a superstar. First up, Lovesick. Released in 2023, this album proved that Don wasn't just a feature artist, he was a hitmaker in his own right. With singles like Do It Right and For Me, the album showcased his ability to blend nostalgic R&B vibes with futuristic trap beats. The project was cinematic, filled with interludes and storytelling elements that made it feel like an experience rather than just a collection of songs. Then came Hard Stone Psycho, an even darker, more experimental project that dropped in 2024. This was Don at his most creative, pushing boundaries with trippy beats, raw lyricism, and atmospheric production. Tracks like Hardstone and Deep End became instant fan favorites, and the album solidified his reputation as one of the most innovative artists in hip-hop today. One of the biggest reasons Don Toliver is dominating in 2025? His live performances. If you've ever seen him on stage, you already know this man puts on a show. From bikers on stage to crazy lighting effect, Don has turned his performances into an experience. And let's not forget his live singing skills. Not every artist sounds this good outside the studio. His ability to translate his hypnotic sound into a high-energy live setting is part of what makes him festival headliner material. Don's visuals also play a huge role in his success. His music videos aren't just typical rap visuals, they are full-blown cinematic productions. His latest videos for No Pole and Tore Up, released months after the songs initially dropped, show his commitment to creating a full artistic world around his music. With his momentum only growing in 2025, Don Toliver isn't just a rising star, he's a dominant force in hip-hop. And what's next? Well, let's just say the best is yet to come. Rumors are swirling about a potential album release in 2025, one that could be his biggest project yet. Insiders suggest that Don has been experimenting with new sounds, blending even more international influences into his music. Speaking of global impact, his collaboration with J-Hope from BTS marked a significant step toward worldwide recognition. This wasn't just a one-time feature, it was a statement. Don Toliver isn't just a US superstar, he's becoming a global powerhouse. If his past success is anything to go by, Don Toliver's next move will only cement his place among the top artists in the game. The world is watching, and in 2025, Don is ready to take over like never before.